Okay, boom, there it is. Welcome, everybody. Y'all are not going to fight me later for those people who couldn't get on the call or onto the live. So welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Heal Woman to Heal Nation, our first event live situation for 2018. Can I get a clapper moving? I'm so thrilled and excited every time we get a chance to do this. And this is our opportunity to do it in a new way. We typically use this with our membership community. They are very familiar with the program. And so using it, seeing your faces is a whole nother level of accountability that offers us a chance to see if you're hiding, if you're trying to duck it out, if you got yourself on mute, slide out. We get a chance to see in a new way. So if you have never heard of my voice before or seen my face, our sister Mathina, I get to serve you as Director of Operations of Heal a Woman to Heal a Nation, as well as one of the co-founders, along with Dr. Maria James, our resident money scientist, as well as Monica and Nancy, who you're gonna get a chance to hear from in just a few minutes. If you had someone maybe slide you into the background, because this has been opened only to the Heal Women to Heal Nation membership community, meaning those of you who are connected to us as well as our actual members. So you're either on our mailing list or in our HWHN Unlimited U group. That's the only space where we've put this out, and it's to make sure that we got the women who are already connected to us, that want more, that are ready, because we promise you that you get this first. So instead of just keeping it with the membership community, we open the doors so that everyone that's connected to us in an intimate way will have a chance to hear more about what we're getting ready to do in 2018. And can I tell y'all, makes me want to milli wop. I'm so excited. But I want to make sure I got a chance to offer you that. So one of the things I'm getting ready to do is open the floor up for my sister Monica and Nancy to talk a little bit more about why we decided to do this. But one of the things I want to let you know before we close, while Heal Women to Heal Nation started off as a community service project 15 years ago. Can I get a clapper for that? I know I can't, but I just need to see y'all. Thank you. 15 years ago, I can barely believe it. We're going to celebrate our 15th year in April of this year, 2018. We started off as a community service project, but the reality was we wanted to be able to serve women who looked like us, looked like our mothers. And that first 100 women that showed up, the first 100 women that didn't necessarily know everything it was about, but were willing to walk onto the campus of Morgan State University, right? Walk right on that campus and say yes to a message about heal a woman to heal a nation. Say yes to a message that said, I'm saying yes to me, but to the community of women that make up who I be, who I want to be, who I want to serve, the women who are my sisters, my friends, my cousins, my nieces, the children I've birthed, and those who have yet to come. And so when we said yes to that, we were saying yes to so much more that we didn't quite know was coming down the pike. We had no idea that some of you were going to show up, and some of you have been there almost for 15 years. Like, what? You ain't know? You can't get rid of me. And so Heal Women to Heal Nation has thus become an international sisterhood. And one of the things that humbles me, right, is that you continue to trust us in ways that is so remarkable that we continue to say yes, not just to ourselves. It stopped being about us a long time ago, because if it was just about us, we would have been done a long time ago. But I look at your faces and I'm reminded of experiences and circumstances and tears and triumph and releases that have happened because everybody you see continue to say yes. So I want to ask my Nakia to come forward now and to share a little bit more about where we're going. So please welcome my sister, Monica Nance.
She's so eloquent. Like, Duana, by the way, I did read your response when you're talking about, well, you know, Monica, was it Becky? It was one of you guys that were like, oh, we can tell the difference when you guys write the emails. But I'm excited to be here with you guys for this being our 16th year and doing the work that we do collectively as a sisterhood. And we decided we wanted to do something new this year and start a call out just with our members. So Mathina brought it up, but I want you guys to really understand, if you watch the marketing, because a lot of you are business owners, organizational leaders, if you watched it, it was only to a small collective group of people. It was only to people that were already connected with us, already to women who already said yes in some type of way. So whether you decide to say, I heal, first the woman that stares back at me in the mirror, thus creating a ripple effect of change around the globe, or you said, I heal girls inside of high school, or you said, I heal women that look like me that have gone through abuse, women that are trying to heal their body, women that are trying to heal their mind. I heal by writing my own story in a book. I heal by helping you to find a food. I heal by helping you to heal your body with holistic medicine. I see you, Dina. So we have to really understand why we are coming together. And this year, more than any other year, being that we're 15 years old, we have to elevate to another level. We have to. You're 15 years old. We are officially teenagers. We have gone through our puberty stage at this point, right? We're all now adult women. Remember when we started, we were 17, 18, and 19 years old. That is very, very true. We were collegiate students. And so now that we're at another level, we're going higher. And what I mean by higher, some of you have been able to witness us traveling and working in the Virgin Islands, traveling and working not only inside of school, but outside of school, working with girls. We had a girls' conference at one time. We did the calculations. We've served over Heal Women to Heal Nation alone. That's documented because, you know, when you start, sometimes you don't always have your stuff together. But on Heal Women to Heal Nation documented, we have served over 110,000 women. When we decided to add membership, when you guys came on board, we doubled. So now we're over 225,000 women. It's 2015. What happens when this collective group of women steps up? That's why we're on this call today. That's why we're having this conversation, Dahlia, because you just got that new license. We're about to put your sister to work, right? That's why we're having this conversation, Amina, because you are a powerhouse speaker. And this is the time right now. We're having this conversation, Tanika, because not only are you empowering yourself, you are empowering your daughters, which means you're not only creating women leaders, you're creating girl leaders. We have to step up, or we will never get to that 1 million women around the globe. This is greatness personified. How are you personally leading? How are you personally showing up? How are you being great? How are you showing the God effect? How are you showing the God that lives inside of you? How are you being the healed woman to help to heal other sisters? A lot of us who are not showing our faces, I'm assuming y'all cooking dinner or you're in the bed. But I wanted to see everyone's face because we don't do this enough. When we all decided to say yes, I don't know what just happened. What just happened here? Did I do that?
No, somebody's accidentally sharing his screen.
Hold on, let's see. Aisha Hunter. All right, Aisha, hit your button. Your screen is sharing. All right, so I'm going to continue to talk, and we hope that we'll be able to fix it. Boom, there you go. All right. Can you guys see me again? All right, I see heads. So what we decided to do that we wanted to share with you, one, how do you stay the course? How do we first get our own house in order? So we teach you about creating a foundation inside of your business, the foundation inside of your organization. We teach you how to have the foundation inside of your own home and your life, how to be the CEO of your own life, how to be the chief experience officer in your own life. But now we need you to do more. Now we're calling ourselves and our sisters to do more. And so inside of that, we're asking you to leap. We're asking you not only to leap by yourself, but to leap with us. How dare we go into another year and not bring more of our sisters with us? How can we go into another year if we're not actually helping you to receive grants, helping you to execute your own experiences? We tested it in 2017. We're going to manifest more in 2018. And we collectively are going to do it. Last year's conference, or was it this year's conference, I should say. Last year's conference was amazing. And many of you that attended, you heard more and more sisters say, welcome home. Welcome to my conference. This is my conference too. And we're doing more of that in 2018. And so we're asking you to leap. And so when we're talking about leap, it doesn't mean you just get to show up when it's nice. It also means you get to show up when it's not so nice to get the support. It also means that you no longer can hide, Leanne. It also means that, Cara, you are my girl. You're supposed to bend back in the mix. You're supposed to be here. You're supposed to be loved on, to say, I need. How can I serve? How can I be supported? And so I want to bring Madonna back to talk to us a little bit about LEAP and how leadership and learning plays a huge part in how we're going to help to gravitate, how we're going to go to the next level. You're muted, Mathina.
Fancy, right? Thank you, Monica. So this is where when we talked about leaping, and those of you who were on the Wednesday call, I started this conversation talking about, whether or not you talk about there's a difference between a push and a jump. That very often we are pushed, we're propelled. There's somebody behind us. It's a coach, it's a mentor, which is all good. But the only way for you to make significant strides is to not just take that push as a start and get to running so that you can actually leap, so you can actually jump. And that in the process to that, we love a good acronym. In the process to that, your L when we're talking about leaping is your learning. Is absolutely okay. Some of us, although we can become what we call information hoarders, you take the information that you learn, and then the goal is now to next implement, right? So what am I learning? How strategic now are you going to be in your learning? One of the things that we're asking for now, and we're going to give a chance to unmute some of the lines. I'm ready to call on anybody at any time. But the first thing in that L, when we talk about that L and that learning, is now let's get strategic in our learning. So in order to get what you want next, whatever it is, book launch, CD, radio show, whatever it is, what's the very next thing you need to learn? 1, 2, 3. What are those things? Because once we outline those things and we get into it, you don't need another 16 years. What you need is to accelerate your learning. So, okay, who can I get around that's actively in that process currently? Who's actively, can I surround myself, and then can I soak up as much as I can? Whatever time you are going to give yourself, cut it in half. If you are going to give yourself a year, cut that in half, bare minimum cutting in half. If you can slide it down, okay, and take off 60% of the time, do that. Because we're in a season now, not just because of what's going on here, but what's going on here, meaning what's going on globally. We have to accelerate our pace. So in your leap and what you're learning and in what you are leading yourself to, can you cut that in half in order to move sooner, quicker, faster? So literally, you write it down. What is the very next thing you need to learn? Tanika mentioned it earlier. So the first thing Monica said was, so we need a meeting? I'm sitting there like, what we doing with curriculum? Okay, what's up? Right? So what is the very next thing? Once that's done, who are we reaching out to? Hey, can you pay somebody just a few dollars, right? Get a partner, a few dollars, and say, I need to, and you got your checklist criteria. We'll talk to y'all about that in a few minutes. Checklist criteria. Who needs that curriculum? Where is that list? What are the key things they need to know? So if you don't know, Tanika, wave to the people so they can see you. Tanika does powerfully amazing things, and I'm not a little jealous. 2018 is the year she's going to invite me, okay, to be with the youth. 2018 is that year. She knows, so she's going to invite me, right, LaQuisha? When I say invite me, I don't just be playing. I'm serious about it, to be with the youth. But Tanika does powerful work with youth. So if you're working with youth and you want to know how she gets young people engaged with her through the evening for hours at a time, you thought I didn't know all this, for hours at a time, deep diving, sharing personal information, talking about the fact that they're in this community is what helps prevent them from committing suicide. I'm talking about saving real lives. How many of you know of a program or community in your neighborhood that you believe could benefit from some content and information that could save young people's lives like that? Raise your hand. Come on, y'all. Raise your hand. I want Tanika to see this. You see that? So what we're saying about when we're talking about learning, accelerate your learning in this season. That's what we're talking about. So when we talk about that leap, that's the piece that we really want you to see. All right.
When you're talking about accelerating your learning, you have to also consider your energy. Really consider your energy this year. Don't even think about it as, 2018 and make it a whole resolution type of thing. It's really the elevation. If you guys are on the Wednesday call, Wednesday calls are amazing. Wednesday calls are amazing. If you're not getting on the Wednesday calls, you are losing right now. Wednesday calls are amazing, and they're amazing for us as well. But when we're talking about where energy goes, energy flows. You've heard it. You know this. We know this as women, but sometimes we get into this dormant state. And so inside the letter, I said, some of us are really, really excited about this new season. Some of us are ready for more. Some of us are ready to go and get it. Sometimes some of us are at the starting point. We're at ready. Some of us are at set. Some of us are ready to go. If you are at ready and you've been sitting at ready for the last 3 to 5 years, when are you going to get to set and go? When are you going to go ahead and say, where energy goes, energy flows? When are you going to say, you know what? Enough is enough. Let me truly leap. When are you going to say, you know what? I'm going to sit here. I'm going to focus on this plan, whatever that plan is. It may be a plan around your health. It may be a plan around your education. It could be a plan around your book. It could be a plan around your clients. It could be a program around your students. It could be a program around your food. When are you going to give it the right energy? Because most of the time we're operating at less than 50%, and then we'll say it doesn't work. When are we going to be afraid? I was talking to a woman today on Facebook, and she says, Monica, I'm afraid. I'm fearful of heights. And I said, oftentimes it's not that we're afraid of heights. We're afraid of falling. It's not the heights. It's what will happen if you fall. Will I feel it? How will it impact me? Where energy goes, energy flows. If you think you're going to fall, if you think you're going to fail, you're probably going to fail. If you think that you're not going to be successful, you probably won't be successful. Why? Because you are your biggest and worst critic. You are your biggest and worst enemy. Because you will shut down your own dreams before it's even able to be manifested. If God can say yes, and how many times will you say no? How many times will you say not yet? How many times will you say, oh, I'm not there yet. I don't have the money. I don't have the time. I don't have the resources. Energy. Where are you going to focus your energy? Where are you going to give your time? Be mindful at where you're giving your time. Be mindful at how you're spending your energy. If you're watching Love and Hip Hop or Basketball Wives or whatever else, you're losing. You're losing if you're not checking your stuff off done. If you are, enjoy. Put your feet up. You know, I'm with you. Sharon has wine and popcorn. Queeneration, typically grown scope is off the hook. You should be there. You should be there. Let's be mindful of our energy. Let's be mindful of the people and places and things we're having in our space. Be mindful of the people you're inviting into your home. Be mindful of the people that you're inviting to your programs. If you cannot match my energy, if you cannot meet or beat my energy, you will not be around. You are not invited. You have to meet or beat my own energy because I'm already my worst critic. I don't need another naysayer in my house. I don't need another naysayer in my crew. I don't need another naysayer. I need somebody else. When I say no, Mathana says yes. When I say no, she says, okay, I'm going to call you back later, but still yes. Which leads us into what it means to be an A. As she's taking too long, girl, you're supposed to be here with me, Mo. You're supposed to
Don't supposed to me when you know switch. This is let me inside story. Monica would like to switch stuff up just to see if I'm gonna be on my toes. She done switched up the whole situation. I'm like, listen, I ain't your client, boo. Let me stop. So, all right. So when we talk about the A in leap, right? This is when we're talking about your action and your accountability. Listen. What Tracy may not be on. She used to call me the Amina put her finger up like, wait a minute now. See, this is like being live in the room. I'm watching y'all. Natalia shaking her head like, yeah, you right, right? I'm watching you. But when we talk about your action and your accountability, so it's really interesting because the two go hand in hand. They coincide, right? Because your action allows me to see where you truly desire to be. And if you want me to hold you accountable to mediocre rather than your absolute best, then you're going to give me your mediocre and not your absolute best. Amina, you're slaying me right now. Not your absolute best. If you want to be held accountable to your absolute best, then when I pull on your coattails a little and go, really? Praise the Lord, Queen, but what you told me was Okay. See, Quisha know what I'm talking about it. What you told me was that you can't stop this because there's a whole community of people waiting for you. What you told me was that every time you even think about it, you formed the words to say one thing and another thing came out because that wasn't about you and it wasn't for you. That was God speaking through you. So you're accountable to what actually was said. So that's where your action and your accountability need to marry and meet. So for how long are you, now Sunny's doing it. So for how long are you going to be in inaction, pretending like it's your activity and your accountability and your action is not the same thing. Activity doesn't mean that you're moving or doing anything. It just means that there's something visual happening. It's like when people wear, what's those things that hang from your clothes and do like this? Can't think of it right now. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So what is that thing called? When it hangs off your clothes? Hold on.
Tassels.
Thank you. Thank you for that. When you have your tassels and you do it, you can do a minor move and your tassels be like, woo! Look like you got some hips or something. Okay? Your tassels be like, woo! But you're only doing a little action. See, some of us, we're doing that in our own lives. You got tassels on your purpose and you acting like you're doing a whole lot of movement when all you're doing is a semi-shimmy shake and it ain't even a good one. Instead, really put some movement behind it and allow a community. This is why we're here. Allow the community to hold you accountable. It isn't judgment. This is your sanctuary. These women are here to hold you, to be there for you when you can barely be there for yourself. This is your sanctuary place. This is not the place for you to show up and always have it all together. It's the place that allows you to say, I don't know right now. And we're willing to be there for you. But then we're gonna guide you. We're gonna work with you till you get back to your space of action so that you're in constant and forward motion. Yes? How many times are we going to say, oh, I had that idea once you see somebody else executing on what you thought about? And it's not just what you thought about, it's what was deposited in your spirit. It was an assignment that was given to you and you ran in the opposite direction. And somebody else starts showing up to do it. And now we upset. That's because you had your tassels on and you weren't actually moving. Right? So that's when we're talking about lead. Now, the next piece of this, Monica is going to come forward and kind of dive deep in it and give us this other piece. But then we're going to also open up some Q&A. I'm going to prep you for Q&A before Monica starts talking. Q&A. When you want us, if you have something to say, I'm going to do a visual raising your hand or unmute your line and say your name. Because some of you we can't see on our screen, even in the grid view, because it's 30 plus of us here. So if you unmute your line because you have a question, an aha moment or something like that, then just say your name so that we can be cognizant that you're there even if we can't see you.
Actually, they can do it inside the group mode.
I figured they could, but I couldn't tell them that.
Yeah, you can do it inside the chat box. So if you have something that you want to say, just go ahead and put it inside the chat box and we can see everyone in the chat box. And so when we're getting to the P, actually there are 7 different Ps. So if you're writing, make sure there's enough space because Mathana is just that type of person. And we get 7 Ps. And so I'm going to do half and then she can do half if that's okay because P is just that powerful, period. And so the first P is to plan. We talk about planning. If you're in CEO, during CEO, you're planning. If you're in Power 90, you're planning. You have to plan and not just plan, but plan purposefully. Plan with a purpose, plan with a goal, plan with an intention. Where's that lifeline? By when? Don't just continue to say it and shake your head and say, yeah, I got it. I know. We really have to have a by when. We really have to have a purpose. We really have to have this plan. And your plan can be as detailed as you would like because some of us are creators. And so because you're a creator, you may decide to make your plan creatively. Do not be afraid of being who you are and working your own process. At this level in the game, everyone here is somewhere in between their late 20s, mid 40s. We have some of our mothers too, some of our babies too. I don't know if Is Tanika's baby around? She usually has one. Tania or somebody usually hanging around. We never know. But what I want to say to you is, at this point, you know how you work. Be authentic to who you are. Be honest with who you are and your opportunities. Know that for some of us, we need to set reminders on our cell phone. Know for others, we need to write it down. For some of us, we need to write it on the bathroom mirror. You have to do whatever you need to do to make sure you get it done. You can't decide to do it the way that somebody else would do it, and then you don't do it at all. Some of you heard the story when I was talking with Mathana and Maria about what I was going to do for Black Friday. And Maria was like, no, you got to do this extravagant plan. Why? Because she's a linear thinker. And I'm a creative. So when Maria gave me a suggestion of how it works for her, what do you think happened to me?
Totally different.
I heard somebody, you already heard you say it, like say it again.
Oh, totally different.
Look at it. It had to be Sharon. Of course she is. Exactly. It was too different for me. It forced me to pause. I ended up freezing because something that was opposition for me showed up, because someone was telling me to do something that was not comfortable for me. But getting outside of my comfort zone is a part of me just being in action and doing. When I did it my way, when I held myself accountable, when I created my own plan, it worked. It was fruitful for me. We have to plan. The other day I was listening to something and it showed up for me, and I was so excited. I said I have to share it with tonight. Oftentimes we say it's harvest season. It's harvest season. We're planting. You know, you plant your seeds. You put your seeds in the ground. Many of us have planted our seeds. You put your seeds in the ground, right? So then what happens after you plant the seeds? You start to water your seeds. Some of you are watering your seeds. Some of you are already in coaching. Some of you are already in therapy. Some of you are already in health and fitness classes. You're working with wellness professionals. Whatever you need to water your seeds, to water your dreams. But what happens once the plant grows? Once your seed has grown, you say what? Oh, it's harvest season. And then what do? Many of us stop. And you're waiting for your blessing to show up. But if it's harvest season, somebody has to go out there and pick the harvest. Somebody has to show up. You have to go and pick your fruit off the tree. You will have opportunity sitting right in front of you. But because you're waiting on God to show up, because you're waiting for that blessing, because you're in this space, you're not in the working space, you're not in full action to go and get it. If you're hungry, you're going to go and get it. Right in front of you, your fruits are dying off. Your opportunities are falling by the wayside. And all you had to do was go out and get it. Don't say it's harvest season and don't plan purposefully. Don't say it's harvest season and prepare prayerfully. So everyone knows here that if you're a part of Healing to Heal Nation, what we do believe in is we are a faith-oriented organization. We're not a faith-based organization. We're not a denominational organization, but over here we pray. Everybody knows that. Or you won't stay around us for long. You won't. You won't. Whatever you may call God is your own business. However you connect to your divine self, to divine spirit, however you do that thing, you better do that thing, because it will keep you on track. Remember who you say you are. Not who everybody else thinks you are. Remember exactly who you say you are and what you stand for. So if you are who you say you are, not only are you going to plan purposefully, you're going to make sure that you prepare prayerfully. You're going to make sure that you proceed positively. Because I'm a queen, I know my calendar is too full for nonsense. Because I'm a queen, I know that self-love is not selfish. Because I'm a queen, I know that there's no such thing. There's no such thing as I can't. Because I am a queen. I know that the actions that I carry out today are preparing the legacies behind me. Because I'm a queen, doors will open for me. Because I'm a queen, over and over and over again. Y'all wore your crowns. Are you really wearing your crown? Are we, right? Because if you got this S on your chest, so I was like, wear your shirt. I mean, I see your ass. I see your ass. If you have your ass still on your chest, are we really healing? For real. Physical, mental health, self and economic empowerment is what we stand for. Physical, mental health, self and economic empowerment. Physical, are we checking in on ourselves? I had to tell Mathana, this is my transparent moment because we are family. I said, Mathana, today is not a good day. I stayed up for like 24 hours the other day. I had to give myself an accountability partner. Most of you know I have a endometriosis. I have an autoimmune disease, but I had to check myself. Like, pause. Wait a minute. I'm not being who I say I am. I called Quisha out the other day too. Who else can do this but us? Who else can do this but us? If you're not a part of the sisterhood of people who know who you are, and you're hiding behind these masks, hey Kim, people can't hold you accountable. We can. Mental health. There's so many of us. It's dark outside. It's winter in most places. What happens? When the sun is risen for less amount of time, something really happens to your body. Something really happens to your psyche. It's not that you're just going crazy, you're depressed. We're people of the sun. We need vitamin D. It will send you into a depression. Are you taking care of your mental health? Are you checking in with others? Are you hiding in your prayer closet? Are you so frustrated? Are you depressed? Are you secretly surviving? We had to talk to our sisters first. You got to take care of your business home first before you invite other people to your table. Are we who we say we are? But now I'm waiting for you. She over there doing all of this. This is hilarious. If you're listening to this recording and you didn't get a chance to be here in person, you are missing out. But I hope that you will be able to join us. This is only our first of many of being able to touch each other in this way, to show up in this way. Because as we're moving forward, this is our mantra. We're sticking to the mantra. We're doing exactly what we said we were going to do. And the first woman that we have to heal is each other. First woman we have to call out is each other, which brings us to the next P.
Because Monica, I'm over here throwing stuff at you. I'm glad we listen. We was like, oh, we gotta be in the same room. Do we? No, we don't. I'm glad we not. Because I'd have been like, what? Okay, I had a whole moment. So part of the reason why we talked about this, and I was like, Monica, what are we gonna call it? Are we gonna do this? She's like, yeah, we're gonna, and I'm on a Wednesday call, mind you all. And finally she sends me this text message that says, it's greatness personified. And I'm gonna call trying to have a conversation with you all and not be distracted by that. And I was like, and it's greatness personified. So the thing that made the shift, and when we talk about these P's, is that because when we said yes, and so many of you were so agitated, I started getting emails. So when it's conference, I'm trying to send, I'm making my arrangements, I'm coming. JC was like, what's up? I'm flying in from California. And I politely said, it's not going to be happening. Because we committed to doing that back piece, but it doesn't mean that we can't pursue persistently. See, now it's just going after it differently. You know, I was sitting here listening to a podcast. I forget which one. Y'all know I love a podcast. And in the interview, the man said, I had to think about it. You know, by the time I was 35, I was running this church. I forget who the person was, but I was running this mega church. You know, I had this beautiful family. He said my children were here and they're present. He said, but I felt like I'd done the things I set out to do. And what do you do at that point? What do you do when at 25, 35, 40, you have done what you think of as your purpose work? You pursue persistently and make a shift in the how you show up in your purpose. You're not the same person at 40 and 45 that you were at 21 and 18. So there's got to be a new way. There's got to be a different way that you can show up in a more brilliant and powerful presence. There's got to be a way that you can still pursue your purpose and your passion and your purpose persistently. It's not about quitting and saying, oh, I did that. It's now about, no, now at 35, now at 38, now at 41, now at 50, how do I look at my purpose? What have I learned? What have I accepted or understand differently now? That I now can look back in this and say, oh, now this is how we can do this differently. What would I tell my 37-year-old self when I'm tired, when the people who are my partners, Dina posted it in those, I don't know who saw it in the group chat, when the people who said, I'm with you, are no longer persistent in that pursuit of showing up to support the purpose that they told me that you can go ahead, you can do it, and then they're gone. The people who say, I got your back, I'm going to support you, we can do this, and I got money, but then they money never come. What? If y'all can't see this, what's so funny is everybody's like clapping, y'all going crazy. They're like, been there, literally been there. Literally had somebody snatched from us. Oh, nobody comes. We just had a conference with 150 women, 50% of them college students, and the college says, oh, don't nobody care about that, and snatches their support away. What do you do with that? You pursue persistently, period. That is the end of the story. Pursue persistently. You got to plan perfectly. You've got to do all of those key pieces in that leap because your jump matters. Your jump matters. Your jump is your own responsibility and accountability, and it matters. As a messenger in the world with something divine on your life and your assignment, you matter. And there are people waiting for you to show up. Waiting for you to say yes, waiting for you to pursue it beyond a shadow of a doubt. But I'm not saying you, we sit in our fear, we sit in our doubt. We think that we become immobile and we think it's no longer good enough, and so we don't do it. Your imperfect plan is better than the one you never produce. Your imperfect plan is better than the one you never produce. The only way to tweak it, the only way to make it better is to just go ahead and do it. Then you know where to shift. Then you know what to add on. Then you know how to change the recipe. But first, you got to put it all together and see what you've got. We're getting ready to open the lines for questions. See, now, typically, as our members will tell you, typically we'll go in and we'll do business development on the calls. We check in with them. They have to do reports. Don't worry, y'all don't got to do reports on this session. Don't even worry. Don't get nervous. Okay, I know you just came off the holiday season, right, Sharon? Right, Natalia? Don't get nervous, right? So, but today we wanted to talk about just how do we pursue, how do we push forward? You know, those of you who are with me, you heard me talk about the hero story on the Wednesday call. And that's where I feel like we are. I feel like Nathina is personally in her hero story journey. Why? Because there's so much in that process where you push away, you try not to do it. You have that dark night of the soul and you ask yourself, okay, now that I'm on rock bottom, what now? The divine assistance comes in to help you out. But then that's the battle. Now you're maybe in the battle of your moment. That's where the real test comes. You can't test a skill you don't even know you have yet. You can't test a talent that you have not started working towards yet. There's nothing there to test. So how do you really think that you now have a testimony if you haven't had it tested yet? So we're in that journey. We're in that hero action purpose movement story. The last thing I'm going to mention on this before Monica comes back and before we post in the group, start writing in your group now. If you have a question, give us your name, the actual question. We'll unmute your line so that you get a chance to share and we get a chance to hear your voice. But one of the last things I talked about when we talked about greatness personified. See, personified means it's the embodiment. I told Monica, I want a shirt. I want a shirt that says greatness personified on it with the logo, okay? I want a shirt. I want one.
Madonna always wants a shirt. Y'all would have a shirt for everything we did. There would be a shirt. There would be a banner. There would be a hoodie. Like
Don't
everything.
y'all agree? Don't y'all agree? Listen, I will unmute everybody to get my back up, okay? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, okay? I see you.
I'm not listening, no.
Don't mess with me. You know I was so unmute everybody. Y'all got my back, right? But the reason why I said it is because when I looked at personified, it means the embodiment, right? It means the full embodiment. And so when you talk about greatness personified, y'all have heard me. If I see you, if I talk to you, I'm like, oh, good morning, good afternoon. Hey, greatness. Because in each of us, there's a sleeping giant waiting to be agitated. And you think you only got one, I'm here to tell you, you have more than that. Because how you need one giant to fulfill one level of your purpose, but you need your next giant to get to another level. How else are you going to step on up? And so when we talk about greatness personified, in that is your self-mastery. All of this has to do with that. Mastering who you be in the world is about then what you can move on and do. Yes, that's your greatness personified. So once you define it, once you define your greatness, once you declare that this is what my greatness looks like at this stage and dispensation of time, personify that. Full embodiment of that. And that allows us to move forward. Somebody from a Samsung says that I love shirts. Thank you, Monakia. Thank you, somebody with the Samsung. I don't know your name, but I appreciate it. Okay, Kathy said, yep. We getting shirts. Appreciate ya. So I want to invite Monakia back. I don't see anybody posting in the chat about questions. I don't see it. Monakia, do you want to do an unmute for everybody, or do you want to wait for posts? Because I want to hear.
I saw Dina had a question. So yeah, go to Dina, because I know Dina had a question on here somewhere. So can we unmute Dina?
I've unmuted Dina. Dina, can we?
Hi. I didn't have a question. I just made a comment about something.
Oh, sorry. It was mine. I didn't see it. It went past really quickly for me.
Okay. That was Dina. Everybody say hi, Dina.
Hi.
Dina, I'm going to pick on you for 10 seconds. That's what happens when you're a member. Dina, can you in a few seconds or so share with everyone just your area of expertise?
Yes, I'm a wellness coach. I educate people about the wellness benefits of essential oils and oil-infused products. I'm bringing another aspect to wellness. People think wellness is more about exercise and diet and eating properly, and that's part of it. But in my journey to bring in the oils, I was going through some emotional imbalance. I realized that it's more than that. It's about nutrition and, what you clean your homes with and what you use personal care products. So that all has a lot to do with your emotional imbalance and how you show up. And a lot of times people don't look at those things because there is no FDA regulation for cleaning products and personal care products. So a lot of times those things bring toxics in our body, which causes imbalances that we don't associate with those things. So that's my mission, is really to try and educate people about that aspect of wellness.
Excellent. Thank you, Dina. Appreciate
You're welcome.
I love Dina, and I loved Dina's recent post. She was like, we on the road. And I was like, me too. Talking about her and her husband that week. And I was like, me too. Listen, family is critical. When we talk about, and I think that was Wednesday, we had talked about this conversation around balance and harmony. And that's one of those key things, is that you find harmony rather than looking for balance, because balance will make you think that everything needs to be settled or stayed or linear, flat. And reality is balance is constant movement. All right. So I am looking for, where's Monakia? I can't find her. Where is she? I lost her. Oh, there she is. Okay. So oh, there you are. Okay.
Okay. So anyone inside the group, anyone that has any questions, what you're working on next, what you may need support with, if you had anything. Oh, Sister Renee. Sister Renee, you're not getting no shirt. No, anything about accountability, learning, leaping, being in full action right now. This is your opportunity. This is your time. Please don't make us call you out, because some of you like to hide. Shamiko has been really, really active. I want to give Shamiko a shout out inside of the group. Shamiko, you continue to show up on Wednesday calls. You continue to show up inside the group to show support, to welcome our new members inside the group. So I wanted to say thank you for that. I wanted to acknowledge you for that, because that's what sisterhood is really about. You would be surprised at what a hello does for some of us. Let's be very clear, some of us, because oftentimes there are sisters inside this room. There's 35 of us here right now. They're at least more than half, I know for sure, at one time or another was hiding, and someone calling them out and saying, I see you. How are you? What's going on with you, Kimberly? What's going on with you, Leanne? And then we're able to show up. So let's continue to do that. Let's continue to honor each other in that way. If you don't see someone, call her out, call her on the phone. I had to call Quisha, like, what's wrong with you in your life? You up next. So You're unmuted. Okay, so Shamiko has something. She has an aha moment. And anyone else, go ahead and type it inside the chat, and then you can be up next. Go ahead, Shamiko.
Okay, so Monica, you were talking about not being able to do it the way other people do it and having to have your plans for yourself.
Yeah.
So there's some things that I've been wanting to put together, and like I keep dreaming in the morning right before I wake up that I did it, and then when I go looking for my notes, they're not there, and I'm freaking out because I'm like, I know, or I feel like I wrote that down, or I typed it in my phone and I can't find it. And I try to use the tools that other people have provided to help me do certain things, and I realize that that doesn't necessarily benefit me. So something that I keep having on my heart to do, I launched a podcast based on some conversations I've been having with people about my blog about daddy issues about a month or so ago. And a lot of the conversations have been very similar, where the people are not necessarily talking about their dads anymore. They're talking about things they wish their moms knew and things they wish their moms had done differently. So I said to my mom, I want to do an event in March for Women's History Month where people can say all of the things they wish their moms knew so that other moms get that advice and can move differently. And she just she wasn't feeling it. And it kind of hurt my feelings, but I was like, it ain't for her. She's not the person who needs to receive that. So just really being protective over my visions and my thoughts, because it happened to me again this morning where I'm like, okay, yep, I know what to do now. And as soon as I wake up to execute, I'm like, well, where did it go? I thought I wrote that down. And I know that I'm dreaming. Like, I'm very aware that I'm dreaming these things, but part of me feels like the last few seconds I'm awake and I've written it down. So my aha moment really was about, being able to ask for help and realizing that I don't have to do something the way other people have done something to get it accomplished.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I was making sure I was unmuted. I'm like, yes. And that's exactly right. It's about, some of you have heard it before, chew the meat and spit out the bones. The whole reason that we come to a community like this is to share what we're doing, to be able to support one another, and you chew up the meat. You chew up what's relevant to you. You chew up what makes sense for you. You chew up what feels good to you and where you are, and then the rest of it you spit out. It's okay. You have to remember, we only retain 10% of the information, but I want you to get 10% of the good information that can work for you in your industry, work for you in your life, work for you in your family, because everything is a little different with every particular person. But there's one thing that's very true. There's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new under the sun. And so what I would like for many of us to stop doing is to hold on so tight to this perfection that we have in our minds. Remember that we're not marrying perfection, we're marrying completion. But we hold on to this perfection that we have in our minds so tight sometimes it keeps us stagnant and still. And so this is the season to release that perfection and to walk in imperfection. There was nothing on this earth that is perfect but us. The way you naturally are, everything you need. We were talking about something we're about to announce in a few seconds. We were talking about something. I'm like, Mathana, I know we got to have something for that. Mathana's like, you know what? 2010 is right here, already laid out. What I want you to know that everything that you need, you've already prepared for it over and over and over and over and over again. Sharon, for how long have you said you're going to do sewing classes that you've already did? So you just pull something off, dust it off, repurpose it, and do it again. You've lost weight before. You know how to do it again. You've came out of a rough situation before. Why do you believe you can't do it again? We don't. In life does not get better. Life does not get better. I'm sorry for anybody that believes that, you know what, one day life is going to get better. Life doesn't get better. We get better. We get stronger. We get wiser. So when it happens again, it's like, oh, okay. Girl, that's nothing. How often have you found yourself saying, oh, girl, that ain't nothing. Let me tell you what's about to happen. Let me tell you what's going to happen in that breakup. Let me just tell you what's going to happen with those children. Let me tell you what's going to happen with your mama. Shamiko, your mother does not want you to be able to have that conversation because she's not ready to have that conversation. How do I know that? My mother was 17 years old. My grandmother was 17 years old. And somewhere around 2008-ish, my mother and my grandmother were at one of our workshops. I was so stressed out. So stressed out. Because what do we do at Heal Woman to Heal Nation? It don't change because my mom and my grandmother in the room and they participating. Oh, y'all about to get this good work too. You gonna heal too. And the conversations, I'm sitting there, I didn't know who to be. I didn't know, okay, so am I a counsel to women right now? Am I a counsel to my mothers? I mean, am I the daughter? Like, it was hard for me to figure out who I was supposed to be in the moment, but I had to stand in who I am naturally. And who I am naturally is I'm a counsel to women. So I had to keep my hat on. How can I serve you? And the breakdown and the buildup that happened from my conference being the daughter was amazing. Sometimes you got to do it anyway. The first 6-7 years or so, my mother never even attended a Heal Woman Nation event, so I asked her to work.
Mm-hmm. Now, I see Natalia had an aha, Monica.
Perfect. Natalia, and then...
No, you just saying that was an aha moment for you, Natalia.
All right. So I don't want to hold everybody all night because we loved you, because we miss you, because we wanted to be here, but I wanted to make sure that we get what we need. Before we get off of this line, I want to know if there's anyone else. Is there anyone else that wanted to share something that needs to be moved, that needs support, that needs love, that needs whatever? You have not because we asked not. That's so true. Y'all know I'm good for inviting myself to your table, to your house. I'm good for inviting myself.
Me too. I love it. So Natalia said she wants to be a national educator. Is that a national educator traveling the globe?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So I wanted to make sure I had that right. So she's looking for connections and suggestions. The first thing that came to me, but it doesn't let you travel the globe, however, at least not yet, is a program called VIP Kid. Have you heard of it?
No, I haven't.
VIP Kid allows you to tutor children in China. But it's all virtual, but it allows you to at least open the door to bridging the connections, and it's a paid opportunity. So that opens the door and the connections. The other thing I would think about, and I'll see if I can I'll ask a friend of mine. Dre was once a Fulbright scholar, and Danielle also taught abroad as well in South Korea. They both were in South Korea, actually, now that I think about it.
So I have a question to that. Dahlia, are you talking about now that you have your license? Everybody give it up for Dahlia. You know, we can't collab all together. Maybe we could.
Yeah, collab.
Graduated.
Thank you so much.
Our cosmetology license, and so she wants to move forward. So were you talking about with cosmetology and beauty?
Yes, with cosmetology and beauty.
Okay. So
okay. Thank you for that question.
If you're ready to teach, right? If you're ready to create this brand, create this platform, you're going to have to show and prove your expertise. This is for everybody. If you want to be an expert in the marketplace, tell us why you're the expert, and not just tell us you're the expert. Show us why you're the expert. There's a young lady who calls herself Razor Sharp Chick.
Razor Chick of Atlanta.
No. All right, so when we were in, there was kind of like, yes! When we were in Atlanta, right, y'all? Okay, we were in Atlanta. When we were in Atlanta, we got a chance to meet her. And what made her different is, one, she perfected the short haircut raised with a razor. I've known people to cut hair with razors since I was a little girl. My mother been doing that forever. But this woman made herself an expert. One, she created a brand for herself. She changed her name. She created a moniker. She showed herself over and over and over again cutting this hair. Whatever it is your expertise and what you want to teach, just start teaching. Don't wait. There's nothing to wait for. Start teaching. Start building a platform. Start giving the information, Leanne. This is for you too. I know you got some good stuff. Give us the information. Don't marry the perfection in how you're going to do it. Don't worry about the delivery, because I promise you, when you open your mouth, when you start to get into full action, I see that deep breath. When you start getting into full action, she's talking about baby, things will change. You want to teach around the globe, you have a cell phone, you have a computer, you'll start to meet people and be able to travel. But you have to get out of your own way. Don't try to wait for it to do it perfectly. Don't even wait for the cute photos that people like to take and the nice, business cards. Listen, that's not the necessity. It's not. What matters most is how people connect with you. Everything else is a byproduct. And sometimes, honestly, when you are creating this brand, sometimes that stuff could be a turnoff. It's like, wait a minute, girl, I just was talking to you, and now you like, if you're a million, billion, trillionaire, like, what just happened? I just saw you yesterday. But having the process where people are growing along with you It makes it different. We talk about our opportunity. That's why many of you come around, because we're transparent. It's just like, oh yeah, I made a mistake. Oh yeah, today I was talking about my health issue, because it's not perfection. That's an illusion. Don't try to create this facade or illusion. Just be. You made the commitment for the cosmetology license. Now walk us through your process of creating what you want to create, of creating the international teacher, the international brand. All right.
Okay.
So that actually leads us into a perfect segue.
Wait, hold on. One quick shout out. I just want to shout Dina out. #1 bestseller, Balance and Flow, and Essential Oil Journey.
New books, new money.
Amazon bestseller. Excellent.
Congratulations. Congratulations. So that is so amazing, because you guys know we talk about books being expensive business cards, but your books also help to open doorways for you, will help to get you interviews, give you something to talk about, give you your core principles. If you don't have a book, that's something that Madonna does very, very well. Madonna can help you to lay out your book in 2 minutes. She's done it a couple of times. She's helped other people in our community do it. We have editors that we're partnering with now. In 2018, we're partnering with editors that help you to get your books published. We're partnering with designers to make sure that your stuff is looking good. Like, we're stepping ourselves up. We're calling you to step up. So within that process, we had to think about, how are we partnering with our sisters? How are we specifically helping our community? How are we lifting as we climb? And so in talking more about that, we decided that we have to start having strategic alliance partners. This is the part of our big announcement. We have to have strategic alliance partners. We have to really start to partner with other women's organizations, because unfortunately, some people think that we're competition. We know that we are the collaboration. We know that we are the hub. We know that everybody is welcome here, where you may not be welcome somewhere else. If you are going to be transparent and authentic, then you're welcome here. If you want to show up and have a shoulder to cry on, you are welcome here. If you want to go ahead and rock your crown because DeWanna likes hers tipped to the side, then she says, run me my crown. You can run your crown here, and it's okay. It's okay for us to have amazing, beautiful, intelligent women leaders, and everybody else say me too. And so knowing that, what we have been able to do, so we have a membership program, we have an ambassador program. Our members, you guys as being members, you're saying that I heal. That's the first level of membership. Many of you are saying I heal. If you're in the HWH community, you're saying I'm working on my healing. That's okay. When you become a member, you're saying I heal. It's a strategic plan around my healing, physical, mental health, self, and economic empowerment. When you decide to be a CEO member, you're saying not only am I healing, I'm helping other people heal. I'm going to put myself in school. Some of us don't want to put ourselves in school. When you decide to be a CEO member, you're putting yourself in school, Sharon. You're deciding that I'm going to do the work. I'm going to do the work to follow a blueprint. I'm going to chew up some meat when you decide to be a CEO member. After you finish your CEO membership and you continue to work, you start to grow your platform. You've heard some people call ambassadors within our organization. You're like, how do you become an ambassador? When you become an ambassador, you're doing the work. Your numbers are contributing to that 1 million. When you decide to say, yes, I'm an ambassador for women. I'm an ambassador for Black Girl Magic. I'm an ambassador for positivity. I'm rocking my crown. I'm holding my head high. And so the next level we decided that we needed, it was necessary, the strategic alliance. I need everyone to unmute themselves, because I'm super excited to introduce our first strategic alliance, a partner. So everyone give it up for your sister and your friend, LaQuisha Hall.
Girl.
Can I do that?
It's proven to help relieve pain.
Quisha face like, ooh, what's she about to say? Ooh, what's she about to do? So, I see the lips. I can't hear you. Madonna put you on mute, so that means I can go. So I want to tell you what happened in the sisterhood. What's happening is, how often do people see that you're doing something great, and they want to go ahead and throw some mud on it? They want to be like, oh, wait a minute, you thought you was doing good. Psych. Let me stop your shine. You thought you were doing something, but remember, I hold the keys. How many people may try to take something away from you that don't belong to them? But when you have the power of sisterhood and collaboration, there's nothing that you can stop. And so we decided that LaQuisha has been doing Queendom for 10 years. She's been in Heal Nation 11 years. Excuse me, 11 years. Madonna, unmute Quisha for me, please. She's been doing Queendom for 11 years. She decided to start and Queendom, for everyone who does not know, is a girls leadership program that she actually runs in 3 schools, where she's taking our sisters through a series of programs and workshops to build their queen that lives inside of them, to hold their head up high, to build their confidence, to be mothers to the children that don't have mothers, to be big sisters to them, to teach them about sisterhood. And she's been doing that consistently, not necessarily with help from the school or the school system. She's been doing it on her own, no matter what. She did it during school. She did it after school, on the weekend. Let's just praise the Lord. She's been doing it and continually. She really has been the embodiment of I heal and no matter what. And so even in addition to that, LaQuisha started She Rose, where she was helping sisters to tell their stories who have been not victims, but survivors and thrivers, to be able to now share their story, to stand on their story and not end their story about what has happened to them being a sexual assault survivor. And that is important work. So why wouldn't she partner with Heal Women to Heal Nation? Why wouldn't that just be a partnership? And so we decided that why is someone else being able to support in a way that we know that we can support? And so when opposition showed up, we said yes, we said absolutely, and we said no matter what. And so LaQuisha, I want to give you an opportunity to talk a little bit about what you're doing and what some of our plans are for She Rose and Queendom. And so what does that mean, for a quick second before you talk about that? You guys know we had a program, or not had, past tense, we have our Butterfly Sisters Mentor and Leadership Academy. And what for the last couple of years we've been doing, we collectively, Heal Women to Heal Nation, because this is where your membership money goes to, we would give to Queendom. Right? So we would help to sponsor things that would happen with Queendom, or we would give to girls leadership organizations, or we would give to individual girls for them to attend leadership camps or workshops or whatever they would need, conferences to help supply, books or food or whatever that's where the money would go to. But by having Queendom as a part of, as a partner, what do we get to do now? We get to shift girls that need everyday programming to Queendom and still be able to give to other programming. So it means it opens up a door for additional programming within Heal Women to Heal Nation. If you were part of the earlier years, we had a whole girls conference that was a part of the women's conference. How does possibility open up for us by having strategic alliance? So Quisha, I want to give you 60 seconds to talk about Queendom and She Rose and what you're expecting from the sisterhood, because this means that we're all partnering. Tanisha, now we need to get all of our girls together. 60 seconds, go.
Okay, well, first, thanks, Mo and Ma. She's not on the phone, on the Zoom, but I'm thankful to you all because the opportunity almost had been snatched away from me to continue what I was doing. And so this would have been year 5. This will be year 5 of She Rose. And, when you have a 5-year-old, they're just going into school. You don't withdraw their progress. And so I'm just thankful that they stepped in for me in this capacity, and not even just with She Rose, but with Queendom. And they didn't just start now with the partnership. We actually had a girls' conference about a month ago where Monica was a keynote, and Laphina showed up as a co-keynote. And the girls really enjoyed it. We had a room of about 60 girls, and they empowered them. So I just want to continue that. And I appreciate the help that I got this year from people who supported Queendom and She Rose. The bulk of the committee who helped were from Heal a Woman, Heal a Nation. Dawana, Karen, Tamaya, Monique. There were so many people who were behind the scenes of She Rose this past year. And I hope to have you all back to support again. So just stay tuned for details, and remember,
your jump matters. Yes. Only when you have artists in your community, they randomly make signs doing it. Okay. So I wanna open the floor for others who have been here. You have been within the community. You're looking for strategic partners that you know that you're actually doing the work. This is because she was already doing the work, right? This is not we want you to build from ground up. If you're looking to build from ground up, you should already be a CEO. Quisha has been a CEO. She's been an ambassador. She's went through the process to help to build herself as a leader. Quisha can go out on behalf of Heal to Heal Nation any day, and we already know that she's walking in full sisterhood. She already has authority within that. And so there are some of you that qualify. We would love to be strategic partners for you to join Strategic Alliance to be able to talk. But Donna, you want to talk about that a little bit, or?
Sure, I can. But I also want to, let me say it now that you've given me the floor. Jessica did have an aha that she really wanted to share.
Okay.
Do you want to take it now, or do you want me to do a Strategic Alliance now?
You can finish Strategic Alliance, and then we'll do Jessica. Hey, Boo. And you can go on to the next announcement as well.
So this is the thing about the Strategic Alliance piece that was so funny. Monica and I was like, didn't we already do this? Yeah, 7 years ago. So sometimes you really think that what you are doing is for the moment, but it might be for something that's 7 years down the line, okay? So 7 years later, already outlined our Strategic Alliance guide. There are things that we're looking for. There are 3 value qualifiers that we look for, at least 3 value qualifiers, at least 2 different things that you qualify in terms of your company or organization's personality type, as well as the leadership, as well as objectives and what we refer to as a win-win. So we have a rubric, if you will, things that we're looking for. I'll give you an example. So under the values guide, some of the key values that we're looking for that you need to have at least 3 of course, is self and economic empowerment, personal development, community building, entrepreneurship, economic empowerment, mental health, physical health, education. Those are some of our key values. Personality types are socially conscious, growth-oriented, clear objectives, strong principles, rather. Some of the objectives we're looking for is that you're clear on that, your fact that you're supporting, targeting, organizing, working with women, particularly women professionals and or entrepreneurs, that you're promoting unity amongst women. That is critical. Win-wins, we're looking to see if you are influential with your community, with your audience, with your core group. So that gives you an idea of some of the things. And as you listen, you hear some of the reasons why LaQuisha, of course, was a perfect fit into that, in addition to her long-term support. So that kind of gives you what some of that looks like. And again, that was 7 years ago. 7 years ago, in which that we initially kind of outlined what it would look like and what kind of strategic partners we would look for, and it's now coming into fruition. So I say that to say, don't give up. Don't give up. Sometimes it's just a matter of looking that the things that you were building wasn't for that time. It's for a time when you would need it that's coming down the line. All right. So I'm going to open the line for Jessica to give her aha moment. That's what I'm doing right now, right? Jessica to give her aha moment, and then we'll go to the next piece. I am unmuting you, Jessica.
So Jessica, while she's getting unmuted, we're going to hold this call for like 10 more minutes, ladies, and then we're going to go. I don't want you to miss the other announcements, but I also know I want to honor everyone's time. So 10 more minutes, and then we're going to wrap up. Jessica, 60 seconds, sister. My sister from the East Coast.
West Coast.
Oh, the West Coast. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me good? All that? Okay, so my aha moment was when Monokia said, release perfection. And that's what I did last year, summer of last year. I was so caught up in my book being perfect before I tried to release it. And, one day I just said, forget it. I'm going to go ahead and do it, send it to the editor, the publisher, and boom, I did it. The book I wrote it, it was released, it's published, it's on Amazon. And I started doing a Facebook Live talk show in October. I was so nervous and scared about technology and all that other stuff. I still had issues with it, but I still pursued with it. And I was only supposed to do 2 shows, and it turned out to be 7 shows. And now I have 5 shows scheduled for the month of January. So yes, release to perfection. Don't worry about it being perfect. Just get it done. So that's all I had to say.
Yes, ma'am. How we go from 1 to 5 to 7, like this, we are so on a move. You have been around for a number of years now, Jessica, and I don't like, now I gotta call you Jessica. JC.
I know, huh?
You just showed up in Baltimore and said, no matter what, I'm gonna be there. That was such a huge jump for you. And I'm just so blessed and so honored to be able to be a part of that transformation of you saying, I'm gonna get out of my own way and hop on a plane by myself. And that has happened for a number of you. You know, Sharon just hopped in, was like, I'm coming, and came from Jersey. We was like, who is this woman, Lord? And she just showed up. And so many of us all have found our way here just from just jump, and have met some amazing sisters here. And so thank you so much for continuing to show up and to be fully present in how you show up. And because of women like you, we are officially announcing Heal a Woman to Heal a Nation Conference 2019, April the 11th through the 14th.
Yeah.
Anisha face was like,
Wait, let me unmute. Let me unmute.
All right.
Okay, I can settle for that. I'm okay.
Look at God.
Wow.
LaQuisha done prayed it into existence.
All
Praise the
right.
Lord.
Yes, honey. Yes.
Amina over there with the
Amen.
co-signers. This is hilarious.
Woo!
So what's going to happen with conference 2019? We are prepping now. We're not waiting. Many of you know, and if you are planning on doing conferences or you do conferences,
Drinking water. What are you talking about?
Mo, meet everybody for me real quick.
I'm about to.
And y'all having a whole private party. So what we're doing in 2019 is, this is the plan. This is our conference. People are coming to our house. This is why we needed a break. This is it. This is what y'all been waiting for. People are coming to our house. We have to prepare our house for the people. We have to prepare our sanctuary for our people. And so in being planning and being in full preparation, there are some things that we have to do for 2019. So if you already know you want to be a part and you already know you're going to be committed to it, say yes so that you can join now and see the behind the scenes. I had to make Sharon do it. She thought she was going to get coffee at 7 o'clock. And then, you know, I'm looking for her at 7:01. And she was just like, I called her on the phone. I said, Sharon, where you at? Oh, I went to get coffee. I said, it's 7:01. Because we believe in being intentional, because that's what we're asking God to show up in a room. We're asking sisters to come and to be healed. We have to be fully present. We got to be there for the bodies. We got to be there to set up the room. There are things that we do differently here at Heal a Woman to Heal Nation than anywhere else in the world. I promise you. I promise you. There are things that we do different here. So if you know that is a part, here go Jessica. Heck yeah. Okay. I love it. I love y'all for real. If you know that's a part of your journey, then I want to say yes to you and show up. And what I'm saying yes to and showing up for is, one, this is the time where we start talking about sponsorship and getting sponsors. Also for 2019, this is the plan. The plan is to have the speakers to be from our community. Hello, somebody. The plan is for it to really be our conference, our bodies, our voices, our impact. The point is to bring our strategic alliance, our groups, our organizations. We want to bring them, because I promise you what's happening is that my girls that I taught in 2007, they're adult women now. Now they get to come and sit at Heal a Woman to Heal a Nation. Who do I want them to learn from? Women that are doing it, women of integrity. Because we do, every now and again, we get to invite other sisters, and we do our very, very best to make sure they are who they say they are. But you know, like I know, that sometimes people wear masks. Between you and me and everybody that's tapping this phone, I'm about tired of the mask. We don't play that over here. We don't. No frauds. We don't. We will uninvite you. Because if it's not for the success or the betterment of the sisterhood, it's not for us. If you can't tell the truth here, you're not going to tell the truth nowhere. You're not for us. And so because we're going to be greater, we're looking for our speakers to come from this place. So if you know that you are supposed to be a presenter in 2019 at the Heal Women to Heal Nation Unlimited U Weekend, make your plans. Some of you need coaching. Some of you need to learn how to tell your stories better. Some of you need to make sure you're ready to sell. Some of you need to, and when I mean sell, I mean serve. Make sure you're ready. You can handle the capacity to serve when you say yes. Some people come to conference and say, oh, I can do it. And then they're not ready for the capacity to serve. Let's get our ducks in a row. So that is our second big announcement. Here we go. Our third big announcement.
West Coast. West Coast. Where my
What
West
happened?
Coast? West Coast. Where's my West Coast? Yo.
like, what happened?
West Coast, we are going to be in San Diego, January 19th. Let me know if y'all want to meet up. Let me know if y'all want to meet up. Okay, JC, hold on. Let me unmute you real quick because this was so for you. Let me unmute you real fast. You unmute.
Yes! Woo! I can get in my car and I can drive. Yes, 1 hour. I'm there. You said when now?
January 19th.
We're going to be in San Diego. January the 19th.
Yes.
So we're probably going to do at 8:00 p.m. January 19th. If you have a sister friend, you have your daughter, your cousin, your niece, your mama, and they need to be touched and be a part of the sisterhood. January 19th, we're going to be in San Diego. Look for more information about that. We want to tell you about it first, but that is happening January 19th. And then we're doing a little quick turnaround, packing our bags. And, oh, wait, do I say this, Madonna, or you want to say this?
Go right ahead.
Okay, so then we're doing a quick turnaround. We'll be in San Diego until the 21st, the 22nd. On the 23rd, we are hopping on a plane, and we are going to London, England on the 23rd. Y'all are too cute. Y'all are too cute. This is funny. Watching it with no sound is amazing. So we're going to be in London, England on the 23rd. And then on the 26th, we're going to be in Paris, France on the 26th. I hear Tanisha talking. I don't even hear your voice, but I hear you on the 26th.
We're going to unmute y'all in a second.
On the 26th, we're going to be in Paris, and then we're coming back, and we'll be in Baltimore on February the 17th. Giwayan Mata, and Giwayan Mata stands for Elephant Woman, is going to be at Morgan State University. I'll be doing the stage production for that. I'm inviting all of my Hill to Hill Nation sisters. If you're not able to meet us, in London, in Paris, or in San Diego, I'm expecting to see your body at the show on January the 17th. I'm doing the stage production for it. It's called Giwayan Mata Elephant Woman. It's a African dance percussion, all women band. They're celebrating 15 years, I believe, it was over 20 years.
20, 25, something like that.
Yeah, I think it's their 25th anniversary, and they're celebrating, so we're going to be there. So I want you guys to be able to show up and help me celebrate my birthday. My birthday's on the 15th. I accept gifts all year, but I'm just saying, if you want to show up. So we are going to be out this year. Our plan is, if as a woman leader, to make sure that we are in financial excellence and we are in fiscal responsibility. When it's that time around conference time, we say checks in the mail, checks in the mail, checks in the mail. And so knowing that it's time for us to go higher, we've been having a new mantra. We've been saying international, international, international. And God is saying yes, yes, and yes. And there are more dates that are coming on the schedule for us to do that. But we got to get our house together first, because we can't invite people to our house and we're not prepared. So I'm calling all the leaders to stand up. I'm calling you to lead. I'm calling you to plan. I'm calling you to be in full action. I'm calling you to make sure that you are who you say you are. I'm calling you to be on purpose, for purpose. I'm calling you to be her, period. Period. Unapologetically. Because as we're moving, you have to come. You have to come. We should not be going to London or Paris by ourselves. How? We did a whole tour. Kristen went on a tour and showed up on the tour. We went on a tour. A number of our members actually showed on the tour. In Cincinnati, you guys were in Cincinnati. You showed up with us as well. It's time for us to do more. And so those are our big announcements. We're going to make sure if you missed them, our big announcements, our Strategic Alliance program is officially kicking off. If you are her and you want to be in that space, say yes and make sure you hop inside of our inboxes so we can send you the actual information to get it to you. LaQuisha Hall is the first. We are having conference again, April the 11th through 14th in 2019. So we are looking for us to be speakers, for us to hold the space for that. Remember, this is also, we have an expo. So the Unlimited You Weekend is our CEO women that we're going to crunch down and do CEO stuff to learn how to build your business, expand your platform, have that conversation. And then we still have an expo that's going to bring an enormous amount of women who have never been experienced sisterhood before. And we're going to do that. We have a whole performance stage and all that jazz for that. And then so we're going to be in San Diego, January the 19th. We're going to be in London on the 23rd. We're going to be in Paris on the 26th. And we're going to be at Morgan State University. I want you guys to be there just to show up and show out in the spirit of sisterhood, to learn from some other sisters who have been rocking longer than us, to show up and support on February the 17th. That's all I got. Mo.
Hold on, I just want to hear. Yo, y'all are all unmuted. What's up?
Question. I have a question.
Yes.
Is the brunch still on?
We'll be in London. Oh no, yeah, we'll be in London. So no, unless y'all want to come have brunch with us.
So what had happened was we had to arrange some things. So that I was like, do we stay and do this brunch? Which we love y'all a whole lot.
I was supposed to see Sharon.
Y'all mess up our plans, though.
We're mad about that.
I'm just saying.
Would you like to host the brunch?
Yes. Pause. Do y'all want to host this brunch? We can have the brunch. Sharon.
I mean, I guess it's Queeneration, Queenly Brunch, the Maryland edition. I mean.
Hold on, pause. Let's be very, very clear. Are you a woman to heal a nation or not?
What?
Are you a woman to heal a nation or not?
Isa is.
Oh, okay. LaQuisha, are you a woman to heal a nation or not?
Praise the Lord.
Okay, let me give you some backup. Amina, because I know you can back up this trio. I mean, DeWanna, can you back up this? This could be a force. I mean, what? What's the problem?
All right. And it's done.
Okay, so y'all, we can talk about this later. Seriously, if you guys really want to do it, we can do something where.
Man, I'm going to hurt you.
But look, now, Keisha, you the one who said
you see me?
I do.
Offline, we'll make it able to do it. Maybe we'll do an amended version. Maybe let's do a trial, let's do a whole a collabo. But that's all I have for you guys. There are some free gifts for people that stayed late. Okay, we only lost a couple. Here we go. Because you here, some of us need to write our vision. Some of us need to really understand how to get clear. Sharon, we talked about this virtual vision boards and all of this jazz. Medina, what are we getting away when it comes to our vision?
So for those of you who like, oh, I thought we were going to talk about vision boards and creating your vision and all that jazz, we're going to do that. Listen, okay, it's cool. We support you in that. We want to do that, but we have some other stuff in that first. So we're going to send you our handout piece that we do with our virtual, when we do the virtual vision board party. There's all the pieces in it. We're going to send it. I'm going to fill it out to everyone so that you have access to that. Do the deep dive, right? Do the action work we talked about. Remember, no tassels. Sharon and all my other fashion people are going to be mad at me. I don't mean on your clothes. I mean on your life, okay? No fancy tassels with no real movement. So that's what we're doing.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and email over that for you, okay? Cool. Y'all need anybody?
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's my pleasure. Good night, Dina. The one
Night.
live event February 4th, brunch and breakthrough. Okay,
We could just partner with DeWanna.
Look, there you go.
Boom.
So good night, Stephanie. Good night. So I'll send that over. We'll probably include a few other key pieces in that. I love you to pieces and back whole again. Monica is giving me the awesome task of closing our conversation. Thank you all for hanging in there with us. We have no idea what happened with the technical difficulties. No clue, but the Lord wanted to see our perseverance and our push through, apparently.
But we did it anyway.
Amen.
We made
That's
it.
right.
We arrived. So we're gonna close this out. I just want to make some noise. Celebrate the fact that you're here. A lot of people didn't make it, so just give me all of that.
One last thing. The Wednesday calls, they have been amazing. Thank you guys so much. If you participated in 2017, as far as being a guest speaker, we're calling on you again because the community needs to hear from all of us. So I hope that when we call on you, you say yes. I hope that some of you are getting prepared, to be able to share on Wednesdays. it's important for as many of us to show up as possible on Wednesdays to show that community and support all our sisters, because it is personal, it's important, it does matter. And so I want to make sure that we're doing this. Wednesdays, do not forget, every single Wednesday morning, we have a call. Every single Wednesday morning, we say yes. We do it over and over and over again. I think that was my it. I think that was my it. Anybody else? Going once? Going twice? All right, my sisters and my friends, we will see you all soon. Remember that because I am a queen, I am a part of a cure. I own the power to heal my family, my community, and myself. I understand that physical, mental, and self and economic empowerment is necessary to accomplish this goal. I know that there are fellow queens willing and able to heal me in this task of healing. I affirm to make this task a part of my life's work. I am a part of the cure. I am an unlimited woman. I love y'all. Good night, everybody.
Love you.
Bye.